And question 8, here we go, another straight line question. So like I said, when I start this paper off, or when you start it off, you might decide to pick something that, suits you. Where am I going to put my E? I'll put it over here actually. Something, the questions are just going to get you nice and relaxed, not without too much stress. So, determine the equation of the line, we're doing PGE. So I only know 1 point, I know 4 and 0, so I'll call that be my A and B when I come to do my equation, the y minus b mx minus a. So I've got A and B, all I need to do now is find the gradient. Now usually we've got 2 points to find the gradient. In this case we don't. What we do have though is the angles. So we should be thinking the gradient is m tan theta for this one. Now, the gradient is the relationship between the length and the height. Okay. So it's going to be that's why it's tan, isn't it? It's the opposite over the adjacent. So the m here is tan of the angle where it's opposite over adjacent. So if this is 2 pi over 3, let's have a think about what that is in degrees first of all. 2 pi is 360 degrees, so pi is 180 degrees. So pi over 3, that's going to be 60 degrees. So then 2 pi over 3, that's going to be 120 degrees, which makes this angle in here 60 degrees or pi over 3. So I'll just write in pi over 3, but in our heads we should be thinking, well, I know that that's 60 degrees. So then it's our right angle triangles that we're going to use. So I have got a 30, a 60, that's root 3, 1 and 2. I'm looking for this angle because it's the angle facing the opposite and adjacent. I'm not using that angle, that doesn't mean anything. It's all about the relationship between how far have you come down versus how far have you gone along. So I'm looking for tan of 60. So tan is opposite over adjacent. So I'm going to be root 3 over 1. Okay, so my n is root 3 over 1, except it's negative root 3 over 1, isn't it? That's a negative shaped line. Yeah, and that's why it's really important to sketch these out. If that wasn't sketched, I would want to sketch it just to double check where everything's going. So m is negative root 3 over 1. Fantastic. So now I'm able to substitute everything in. So I've got y take away 0 is equal to negative root 3 over 1, which is negative root 3, isn't it? X take away 4. So that's y is negative root 3x plus, that's a bit annoying, but okay, 4 root 3, bit weird. But that's your final equation there. So let's have a look at the marking scheme, see what we're getting. So you're getting your mark for 2 marks actually for this bit, because you're getting a mark for understanding about m tan of the angle, and then a mark for actually working out the angle, and then your final mark for substituting it into this equation. So 2 marks for this bit. So yeah, not a bad question at all. Yeah, I think there's different ways to do it. Some people would have done tan of this angle and then made it negative. I think anyway, this is the way I would do it. So 3 marks for that. Point gradient equation, and always remembering m tan theta might be thrown into that. Get these exact value triangles learned, and a sketch is really important for the exact value triangles. Okay, nice one.